April 2nd, 2020, Pennsylvania, the whole state, under mandatory lockdown because of COVID-19. First it was a few counties, then I think around a dozen, and now it's all of them. And this has happened in New Jersey, New York, a lot of other places. And yet, I'm out on my motorcycle. Is this a bad thing? Am I a horrible person for going out during COVID-19 lockdown? Well, let's talk about that. There seems to be some debate about this. I read over the governor's order about the lockdown. They're quite clear that they don't want anyone leaving their home except for essential reasons. And they mention food shopping, medical appointments. Obviously, those things are essential. They say you can go outside and take a walk as long as you are 6 feet away from others. They say that you can travel to get gas. You can travel to your job if you are allowed to do that. And it says that you can travel to a place where you will then engage in some recreation, such as riding to a hiking trail or putting your mountain bike on the back of your car and riding to a trail, that type of thing. So is getting on a motorcycle by yourself and riding around well more than 6 feet away from anyone, is this a problem? Well, that seems to be the concern that some people have. In some states, the authorities have specifically mentioned that they don't want people out joyriding, as they call it, on motorcycles. But at the same time, they say they're not pulling people over without cause, probable cause. So if you're driving in a car, obeying the law. If you're riding a motorcycle like I am right now, not speeding, not blowing through lights, etc., theoretically, I should be left alone. But getting back to the recreation thing, I don't hike. I do enjoy mountain biking once in a while. But riding is my thing. I have been home for, this is day 16. Working from home. Originally the pace was quite brutal, 12 hours a day. It's relented. But the only times I've gone out were to buy food. And same for my wife. So cooped up is probably an understatement. I mean, I've actually been doing pretty well, all things considered. But this is, I think, the second, maybe the third time, probably the third time I've been out during the 16 days. It's been a week since I've been out. It's cold, but it's sunny and dry. So that's why I'm here. And the mental health benefit, why did I just hit that hole? The mental health benefit is immeasurable for me. So to me, this is an essential activity, without question. I need to do this. In the winter, when I can't ride, there are definitely depression issues. They're already saying that keeping people locked down like this is going to result in higher issues of depression, drug abuse, alcoholism, even suicide. And that is just a horrible thing. So it is very important to me to be out on my bike for a little bit. Now, I've heard some people say that, what if you have an accident, man? Now the cop and the ambulance and the tow truck driver and, whatever, they all got to come and wear protective gear, and, that gear could be used by the hospital. And, well, okay. That's true. That is true. I don't know what, the odds are, statistically speaking, of, how many of us are out riding on a bike that are going to have accidents during this pandemic. But I'm thinking it's going to be okay. I don't think the few accidents that may occur are going to tax the healthcare system. Here where I live, we have very few cases of COVID anyway, but that's beside the point. So I'm out on my bike, and I hope that other riders are doing that too. Being smart, not meeting up in groups and doing stupid things that attract attention, but just getting out on your bike, clearing your head, and staying away from everybody and heading back home. The only possible interaction will be when I get gas, which I won't be doing today, but I have a latex gloves in the bag. I will use that to touch the pump and the keypad, and then I will be on my merry way. So that is the plan. Now, as far as this essential worker business, this is something else that's really got me riled up. It's so inconsistent. What is a essential worker? If you work for a beer distributor, that's essential. That's got to be open here in PA. But other things that you'd think a person could do with even less contact with the public aren't open. Home improvement type people who will go, and it's a little early for landscaping, but repair something on a house. I mean, they're allowed to do emergency repairs, but suppose you were going to build a deck this week, and that's not an emergency thing. They can wait for their stupid deck. But you could show up at a house, dump your load of lumber, build the deck, and leave without ever having any contact with the people in the house. Why can't a person do that? And there's a lot of things happening like that where, the economy is being destroyed before our very eyes. And it's a shame. It is a shame. I don't know how long they can do this. I didn't comment on it when I went past it, but they're building a new shopping center on this road. And there's probably about 10 people working on the site, driving bulldozers and things like that. These guys could show up at the job, never get within 50 feet of each other, and go back home at the end of the day. But nope, they're shut down. All those people just out of work. And there's a lot of stuff like that. One thing I heard, which was really idiotic, I think the town was called, I think it was Kokomo. So the non-essential businesses were shut down. Yet essential businesses were allowed to stay open. Now, let's say you had the example of a bookstore, non-essential. Bookstore's got to close. But the Dollar General, let's say it was across the street, they're open. Well, what if the Dollar General happens to sell books in the store? Well, the brilliant mayor decided that they have to cordon off the sections of the store where the non-essential items are. So the Dollar General can sell food, but you can't sell books. And that's because it's unfair to the bookstore that's closed. Well, that's just really, really idiotic. Number one, people are going to get their books. They'll get them from Amazon. And then that locality, doesn't get any business. But it's not about what's fair to the businesses. This whole thing's unfair to the businesses. What it's about is the people, the public. People are losing their marbles, man. If somebody wants to buy a book, let them buy a book, for God's sake. You know, everybody's cooped up at home. There's only so much you can watch. So that was really moronic. And that just shows the lack, there's a tremendous lack of thinking things through right now, I think. Anyway, my company is considered an essential business, and we are open. And I am, wow, so thankful for that. Ooh, there's your fixer-upper. Yeah, we don't make things, but we make the stuff that people use to make things. We purchase raw materials. We produce alloys, metal alloys. We sell those to companies that then use them to make products that people need. Some of our customers make essential products. Things used in telecom, healthcare, things like that. Yet a lot of our customers are not operating. Automotive. You know, we have a fair amount of customers in automotive, and as far as I know, they're all not operating. So we are, you know, our plant, our manufacturing plant is open, but there's only like 3 people there at a time. And it's a huge plant, so these people are literally hundreds of feet from each other. The office, however, is closed. Everyone is working remotely. I think someone goes into the office each day. We kind of rotate. I haven't gone in yet. I am the sole IT person, and I have not yet had a need to go in, which is actually great. But anyway, I'm getting by. I am working. I'm supporting people who are at home working. I don't know how long we'll be able to keep doing that, but I hope we can ride it out. I feel tremendous empathy and pain for people who are not able to work. I have a number of friends who've already been laid off, and I just know as a man, not to be sexist, but as a family head, the need to feel like you are providing for your family is huge. And if you can't work, the feeling of uselessness comes quick. I know this. I've experienced that once, and I hated it. So I really feel for anybody who isn't able to work. And then obviously for anybody who is sick, that's a whole nother level. So I don't know how long all this will go on. We're, looking at a minimum of the April 30th in social distancing / lockdown mode. Some people are saying it has to go on much longer than that, and other people are saying there's no way it can go on longer than that, or you are going to literally have major problems that will take a decade or more to recover from. I can't foretell the future, but I'm definitely in the camp of we can't go along like this for too long. So that's what I got. I hope that everyone is able to survive this. I know some of you, I know one person who I watch who is battling COVID, and that would be DBest1A, one of my favorite and early on vloggers that I started watching when I got into this. I don't know him personally, but from what I've seen on his videos, this is a tough man, and I think he's going to beat this thing and be stronger for it. But let's face it, a lot of us are going to know people who get this, and unfortunately, some of us are going to know people who die from it. And that just really is awful. So please be safe, everyone. Do everything you can to protect yourself. And try to get out on your bike safely. And enjoy a much needed respite from just a terrible, terrible time. That's all I got, guys. Till next time.